I'm going to show you today how to make these cute little spats or boot covers or shoe covers, whatever you want to call them. I guess basically these are boot covers. Shoe covers might be a little different. But anyway, as you can see, I've already made a pair that I have on the boots here. It took me several tries and a couple of weeks to actually get this right. And I will say at the very beginning, and if you have skipped through it or not paying attention, I don't answer stupid questions anymore. If it's in the video, it's your obligation to watch the entire video. That's what a tutorial is. But anyway, this is the type of thing where you have to do the grunt work. I'm going to show you how, but I cannot answer how big is this, how much do you measure that, what size would that be. That is determined by the shoe that you're going to make these for. I could probably very well try to put these on a pair of my boots and they wouldn't fit. These are twisties and she has extremely large feet. So anyway, I wear like a 9, 9.5, and if I was to try to put these over my boots, they would be too big. So you have to do all of that. I'm going to show you how. But I just want to let you know at the start that I cannot answer the question of how big around, how long, how much of this. So anyway, let's get started. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do to start this pattern is you need a piece of fabric that's maybe the like material that you're going to use to make the boot cover. I recommend buying some unbleached muslin. It's really cheap. You get a lot for your money. It's a really wide piece of fabric, and it's good for making templates of patterns. I have some muslin, but it's buried in one of my tins of fabric here, so I just took this scrap that I had in my scrap basket for my scrap quilt, and I'm going to use it. And the first thing you're going to do is you want to cut a piece that kind of roughly fits on the boot, and I recommend just kind of holding it up there and then taking it off of the boot and cutting it small, just a little smaller. You don't want to cut it to size because that's not going to work. You're making a pattern. So the next thing you're going to do, and if you notice I use the outside of the shoe, but it's pretty much the same all the way around, so it's not really going to matter a lot how you do that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up and go just about 1/4 of an inch over the back seam of the shoe. Hopefully your shoe has a back seam. You want to get some masking tape, and I recommend masking tape or painter's tape because it's not gonna get any sticky stuff on the shoe. So you just want to line it up there, tape it down, and you're gonna see me show you how to make this pattern, but I already have my pattern perfected, so this won't be the one I actually use for the video. So the next thing you want to do is kind of with your hand just lay that fabric flat like that. Don't worry about this overlapping on the top here. Tape it down around there too. So now what you're going to do is find the pencil that you stuck in your hair earlier. Make sure this is sticking back there, and you want to kind of lay the boot down, and you're going to start tracing right at the edge of the heel. You see how this has a nice heel here that makes it really easy for me to kind of see it through the fabric, and I'm just going to start tracing around that heel. So then what you want to do is figure out how far down you want it to go. And I think since I've already made one that worked out, I'm going to make one that's a little bit longer. And you want to give it a curve. And then you want to find the middle of the boot here. And what I did This tape just all of a sudden doesn't want to stick. Yeah, you want to be sure that that fabric is going up at the right angle. Let's tape it up here. There's always you can always do over if you mess up, and I did a little bit, so what I'm going to do is go back and make sure I've traced this right along that heel again. And then when you decide where you want, how far you want it to go down, you want to draw into there. And what I did to get the middle is, the front doesn't have a seam, but the back does. So I just kind of used my pencil as a marker, and I got that for the middle. Now, once you're satisfied with your pattern, you've stretched it out, you've tried it out, you want to take it off of the boot, take your tape off, and we're going to cut it out. And then what we can do is put it on top of the boot again and tape it to it and make sure it fits. Okay, so once you're happy with how this template fits on the boot, the fabric template, you want to get a piece of craft paper or newspaper, whatever you have handy, and you want it to be bigger than your fabric piece because you're going to make a seam allowance. So same thing, I'm just using the heck out of this tape, but it's okay. We don't want to pin it. You just want to make sure you tape it completely flat. You don't want any wrinkles or bumps in it because it won't mesh up with what you created. So but for time's sake and not having to go through in case that one doesn't work out, I'm going to use my original one because it worked out great.
you.